Vicky and I'm Sew&Snip. Welcome to my sewing space. Thank you for joining me today for another Friday Sews. If you're a returning watcher, then thank you for coming back and listening to my ramblings again. Hopefully the light's not too glary in my glasses today, but I've had to put the light on because it's a bit dull outside. So hopefully that's not too off-putting. Right, so Friday Sews. Friday Sews was thought of by Jen in Jen's sewing room, just to bring the sewing community together and sort of a weekly update to what we've been doing, what we've been sewing and what our plans are. So today it's going to be another short one, hopefully. It's just to tell you what I've been up to in the last week, which isn't really that much. Last weekend went down to Plymouth, quickly one of the days, but I didn't take any photos of that, so can't share that. So just a bit of shopping and things, so nothing really planned. And during the week I've been working, seeing my mum, sorting out things for her, but I have managed to finish my Sasha trousers. So if you watched last week's Friday Sew, you'll see that I've got the closet core Sasha trousers pattern that I picked up in a D-stash earlier in the year. I think it's a couple months ago now, but I like the fact, it was a bit different than jeans. It's quite a simple shape to it. Could go for the crop length or the long. I decided to go for the long, and I also decided to do it with the pockets on the front and the welt pockets on the back. So remember, it was this lovely jazzy bright fabric that I had. It's a cotton sateen, and that's one from Minerva.com. So it's one of their exclusive design fabrics, and cotton sateen, I think, was one of the base cloths that they brought out earlier this year, so it's the first time I've used it. I thought it would be ideal for these trousers. So I'll tell you a bit about the pattern first before I go more into that. So it does call for, because they're quite a close fitting trouser, it does call for having something with stretch. So what I like about the closet core patterns, they come with a nice little booklet of good instructions. So, and on this one they've got a stretch guide. So yes, it had to have, I'm not sure if it actually says, 20% crosswise stretch. So this just had that, so that was perfect for it. Now the Sasha trousers come in a size 0 to 20. So waist size, that's a 24 inch to a 39 inch, and hip is a 33 to a 48 inch. As I said, two designs suitable for fabrics such as denim and twill, or stretch suiting like gabardine. As I said, two-way stretch of 20%, and then some cotton lining for the pockets. So, as I said, really good instructions. I decided to cut out the same size as I do for my ginger jeans, which is grade a 12 on the waist down to a 10. I normally have got to take them in slightly in the centre back, just to get the fit nice, but those sizes seem to work well for me, so I cut out the same in this one. So it came together really well. The instructions were good, as I said, for doing the zip fly, and then they do a hook and bar for suggested for their closing, so it's nice and neat. You haven't got a button on the front and no buttonhole to do. Nice clear instructions for the zip fly, but I still managed to get it slightly wrong, as I didn't put my zip quite far enough over, so it's a bit closer to the edge of the flap than it should be, only by about 1/4 inch. And you can't see the zip when I've got it on, but it does mean that this bit does stick out slightly more than it should. But so yeah, not perfect, but I'm happy with it. Back pockets, I went for the one with the welts. I'm not sure if you can see there. It's nice little slim welt pockets that fit just below the dart on the back. Now with their pockets, what they do is you insert them so that the right side of the fabric is facing into the lining of the trousers, so you see it when you're putting them on. As you can see, I use the same fabric for the pockets. So from the inside, you've still got the right side of the fabric showing, but I don't know if you can tell from the stitch in there. On the inside piece of the pocket, you actually put a panel of the fabric so that when your pocket opens, you can actually see the right fabric and not the lining which is further down, because you've got the little coloured, which I quite like that little added detail, because it means if the pocket does drop slightly, you're looking at the same fabric as the outside. So that's the back pockets, and then I'll turn them inside out because it might be easier to see. For the inside pockets, for the front pockets, they're a slanted pocket, if you can see there. Now their pocket lining goes right the way across the front and attaches into the fly area to add more structure and support to the tummy region, which I quite like that, because it just sort of makes you feel a bit more secure and holds your tummy in a little bit. So you see when they're open, that pocket goes right the way across. So it's adding extra firmness across that region under the waistband. Yeah, again, nice neat finish, and you've got the nice side of the fabric facing out. I edged the zip fly and the waistband in bias binding. Can't actually see the writing on it, but it is some of the binding from the Specky seamstress. Yeah. So yeah, that's finished it off nicely. It's a curved waistband, so it sits nicely on the waist. I think I could have done it slightly tighter, but then it's always nice to have a little bit of ease. So yeah, I'm really happy with these trousers. I do intend to wear them to the knitting and stitching show on Saturday that I'm going to. So if you see me walking around, it'll help you recognise me. Please come and say hi. I'm terrible at remembering people's names, so I might recognise you from seeing you on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, but it's unlikely that I'll get the names correct for the correct people. But yeah, so I'm planning to wear these at the weekend. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. As I said, it all went together smoothly. I did a little bit each day, as I talked about last week, trying to fit in sewing. I tend to do small sections, like half an hour at a time, so I managed to get them together in the week, no problem. The only thing I found with them, and I was very careful cutting the pattern pieces out, making sure the grain was straight, I got the pattern just right, but the front seam just sort of seems to come forward. I don't know if that's part of the shape of the trouser, or it is that I was slightly off, or they just need sort of pressing back into shape. But I just noticed when I had them on that the outside seam seems to be hanging straight, but the inside seems just to be slightly further forward. Obviously it might be my shape that does that, because I've noticed it does do it on some of my ginger jeans from the same company, but it's not particularly noticeable. You can't it doesn't feel like it's hanging wrong. It's just that I noticed that I could see it. So yeah, that's my Sasha trousers. So I'm really glad I tried this pattern. As I said, I really like that top bit of detail. Little bit of tweaking I might do for the next pair, because I did it as the pattern stated, so I didn't increase the crotch depth or anything like that. I measured it to make sure it was just about right. I think next time I'd probably increase the body depth by about half an inch, just to give me that little bit higher waistband, just to sit where I wanted to sit. But they're perfectly comfortable, and I'll add some pictures in, so hopefully you can see that the fits turned out quite well. So yeah, that's my Sasha pants. So next, which I've already started, as you can see here on my dummy, I decided, because of wearing such a bright patterned outfit or trousers, I thought I need something plain to go with it on the top, but I wanted more of a blouse, just something light, especially going to the knitting stitching show on Saturday, because all places like that, they always get hot. So I thought a blouse, and I bought this black broderie anglaise earlier in the year with the plan that I just wanted a plain black shirt. So I'll go more into details of that next week when it's actually finished. But that's the Roscoe blouse, which is true bias. So I've made this one 2 or 3 times before. It's a really quick make, being a raglan sleeve, so it's just a front, a back, and a pattern piece, a sleeve piece. You do a little facing to get the V opening at the top there, and it's binding around the neck and the cuffs. So I've had to do the sleeve slightly shorter than the pattern because I didn't have quite enough fabric. But yeah, that comes together really quickly. I've just got to do the binding on the cuffs and the hem, and then that'll be finished. So yes, I'm hoping that's going to be finished this evening, ready to take with me at the weekend. I love this pattern. I keep saying I'm going to make the dress, but I haven't got round to it yet. But it's a nice, sort of cool blousey, floaty blouse. It's long enough to tuck in, but it's quite nice when it does get hot weather, and not that we've got that at the moment. So yeah, that's basically all I've done on the sewing front this week, and my sewing plan at the moment is just to finish that one. Next week I'll probably, as I said, I'm going to the knitting and stitching show on Saturday, so if I can get any footage there, or I meet anybody and take any pics, I'll put that in next week's Friday sews. So sewing wise, I still want to do my white shirt, but obviously going to the knitting stitching show, I might find something that totally overtakes all of that and I want to make straight away. But yeah, at the moment my white shirt seems to be top of my list. We have now confirmed that we will be going on holiday later this year, so that's go ahead. So obviously I can start thinking again about what I want to make to take away. I don't need anything in particular, because I've got stuff that I've made previous times for holidays that I can take, but obviously you always like to take something new, don't you? So I have got some fabrics. I'm not planning to go out and buy fabrics especially for holiday sewing. I'm looking at what I've already got and maybe making something new in it, and for Mr. B as well. So yeah, that may be plans to start next week. But that's it for today. Oh, I haven't told you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing another Donny shirt. This was made as a remnant I bought. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was just a 1 meter piece length that was left. And I bought it along with a couple of others, because I really like the floral effect. It looks a little bit tropical. So, and I like the grey base with the orange. So yeah, that's my Donny. You can see it's slight. The only thing I've done slightly different on this one is, again, that I've lengthened it slightly, just to use up the whole metre of fabric to give that little bit of extra length. So that's it for me today. I hope you're well. I hope you're getting time to sew or do whatever you want. I hope that, well, weather-wise, as I said, it's dull here, but I know at the moment for some of the people over in the US, they've got hurricane season and there is hurricane heading that way. So if you're over there and watching this, I hope you stay safe. Take care, and hopefully I'll see everybody next time. Bye.